Hello guys, and welcome to a new video where I am predicting the Stanley Cup playoffs for my bracket. I don't normally do videos like this, but you gotta do stuff new, so we are going to get started shortly. And here we go. So for the first matchup, I think it's Jets versus Blues. So the Blues, even though they had that 12-game winning streak in the regular season, I think they've been slowing down lately. So I think the Jets are going to beat the St. Louis Blues. On to the Dallas Stars versus the Colorado Avalanche. This is going to be a great series. Game 1 was very heavily in favor of Colorado. And they're both great teams. I think it's going to go to Game 7. But I don't know. Me personally, I think the Avs are going to win this series. And on to the Golden Knights versus the Minnesota Wild. I mean, the Minnesota Wild made it on the second to last game of the season. Or was it the last game? I forget. But I don't think there's very much of a question here. Golden Knights are very much the better team. I think they're definitely going to win it. Alright, now to the one that's very boring. Excuse me. The Kings versus the Oilers. We've had this matchup. Now this is the 4th year in a row we've had this first round matchup. And I think the curse is going to break. I think Edmonton, without McDavid and Draisaitl in the first 2 games, I think the Kings are going to be able to pull through and win it. Now, I think Winnipeg is going to win in 6 games. Colorado is going to win in 7. The Knights are going to win in, I think, 6 games. And then the Kings are going to win, in 7 games. On to the Eastern Conference. The Leafs versus the Sens. Sens first time in the playoffs since, who knows, I think 2017. I think they're going to lose to the Leafs. I don't think they have what it takes to beat them, even though the Leafs aren't that good. I'm going to pick them. Now on to the Lightning versus the Panthers. Now this is a very interesting matchup. Battle of Florida. I know this happened last year, but the Tampa Bay Lightning got way better. They are way better than they were last year. And this is going to be a very tight matchup series. Excuse me. I'm torn between who's going to win, the reigning Cup champions or Tampa Bay Lightning. I think Lightning are going to pull through and do it. Barely. Okay. The Caps versus the Habs. This one's interesting because the Canadians made it through the playoffs against the Hurricanes. The next team we're doing, actually. On the last day. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the Habs are going to be beating the Caps. I mean, in 2021, they beat the Leafs when no one thought they could. But I don't think it's going to happen against the Caps. So maybe 5 or 6 games for this. maybe 6. I'm picking the Caps on this one. And then I don't know if there's a question on this one. The Hurricanes versus the Devils. The Devils barely, they're just not that good. I'm picking the Hurricanes. And Toronto is going to beat them in 6. This game's going to go to Game 7. Caps are going to beat, they're going to beat the Habs in 6. And the Canes are going to sweep the Devils. On to the second round of the Eastern Conference. The Jets versus the Avalanche. The Jets, we all know, have performance anxiety in the playoffs. And the Avs have been on fire lately. Especially with Makar, McKinnon, Nichushkin, Makar. I could go on. I already said Makar. But you get the point. I think the Avs are going to win this against the Jets. The Knights versus Kings. This one's interesting. They're both very good teams in the same division. I'm taking the Knights on this one, though. Alright, the Lightning versus the Leafs. This one, I don't know if the Leafs have a very good chance against the Lightning, but I'm going to pick the Lightning on that one. And then the Caps versus the Canes. Canes, it was pretty easy for them to get past the Devils, if they do, which I'll be surprised if they don't. I think the Caps are going to win this one. Alright, here we go. The Eastern Conference Final. The Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights. They're both good teams, but I just generally think that the Avs are better. Again, I could go on forever with all the good players they have. The Golden Knights have good players too, but I'm going to take the Avs. The Eastern Conference Final. I messed up. The other one was the Western Conference Final. The Capitals versus the Lightning. They had a relatively easy path against the Habs and Canes. But I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Lightning. So I think it's hard. It's hard, though. It's hard to make the decision. Both good teams. I think the Lightning are going to win. I'm pretty sure. Wait, hold on. It's not really working right now. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Just hold on. Give you a minute. I'm sorry, this is not really working. Okay, finally. Now the Stanley Cup Final, the Avs versus the Bolts. This is going to be a great matchup. I think it's going to go to 7 games. But overall, I think the Avs have a little better offense, and overall, the Lightning have good offense too, like with Kucherov, Point, and Gensel on that first line. But Colorado, with all their good players, again, I could go on a whole list about all their good players. It's still a hard decision. They're both super good teams. I don't know. I have to think about this one. I think the Avs are going to win it. And then the tiebreaker question, the amount of goals I think are going to be in it, I think it's going to be 67. That's how many goals are going to be in. in the whole playoffs. So then I'm going to submit the bracket and and that is my playoff bracket for the 2025 or 2024-25 playoffs. Thank you for watching. Good luck to your team in the playoffs if they are in the playoffs, and hope to see you watch and like my videos. Goodbye.